Spark plugs, coils.
Today we are going to be doing spark plugs and ignition coils on a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica 3.6 liter. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll do a step-by-step on how to do this repair. First, as you can see, I took that engine cover off. There's 3 T30s that you got to take off the top. Then you're going to want to take your air box out of the way off the rear. You don't have to take the whole air cleaner box where your air filter is. Your whole air box where your air filter is, you just need to take off the air cleaner behind the intake. You got to kind of wiggle it and get it out of there, but once you do that, there is, I think, 2 brackets on the on the driver's side on the intake that you have to get off. There's 2 10mm bolts down there for a metal bracket, as well as your EGR tube and a few other wires and brackets in your way that you have to move out of the way. And then you have some 10mm bolts on the intake itself that you'll have to remove. Once you get all that loose, you'll be able to take the intake up and out. As you can see, I kind of, I got to bury my arm in there to get the EGR tube out. But once you get that, the intake just picks up right up out of there. And then all you have left after that is the insulation pad cover. And that's just covering your valve cover for noise reduction. Then on the back side, you got your purge valve and a couple other things for emissions. Pretty much just going to disconnect all them wires, move them out of the way. There's one plastic hose that I ended up taking all the way off. I just set that on the cowl that you can see. But besides that, I just pretty much unplug all the wires and move my coils out of the way now that I have access to it. You're going to have to move that purge and your evap solenoid that's right there out of your way to get to them coils. But yeah, your coils, I get back in there with an electric ratchet, pop them 10mm bolts loose, pop them boots out of there, and then you have free and easy access to get to your spark plugs, which was the basis of this repair in the first place, but you got to remove a couple things to get to it. No big deal. As you can see, I'm moving the rest of this evap out of the way. I don't actually know what that's called. I'm pretty sure it's just a vent solenoid, but normally those are on the rear, so that might not be it. If somebody knows, let me know. But anyway, the purge is off. I'm taking them front coils off, taking spark plugs off. As you can see here, the spark plug, the electrode for it was absolutely smoked. There was nothing left. It was causing a misfire on cylinder 5. It was cool to see that the electrode was messed up like that. Kind of confirmed my suspicions of wanting to do spark plugs in the first place. Following that, you're going to want to take them 6 green gaskets that are on your intake plenum or your intake manifold. You're going to want to take those off and replace them. If you do not, you will have an intake leak. After you do that, you're good to go. If your intake on that plastic flat portion has a little bit of oil or a little bit of buildup, I recommend just taking some brake clean it off with a rag. But after that, then you're good to go. Throw your intake on. These things do have a tightening sequence, so make sure you look that up and do it the correct way. It's plastic going to plastic, so if you don't get it the correct torque and you don't get it the right sequence, it will not seal correctly and you will have a leak and could potentially warp your intake and have to buy a whole new one because of it. Speaking from experience, I've done that before. I did it when I was younger, and it is why I take a lot more care doing these intakes now. So after that, you're going to pretty much just put everything back together that you took off. You're going to put your ignition coils back on before you put your intake on, but now you're going to put your purge solenoid back on top of your intake. Put that vent solenoid back on top of your intake. Plug all your ignition coils in. Make sure you plug your throttle body in. Make sure you plug everything in, really. Then on the front, there's a bracket for your AC lines that goes to your intake. That bracket just holds them up so they don't bounce around while you're driving. Some guys don't put it back. I hold the theory that if I take it off the vehicle, it is my responsibility to put it back. So as you can see, I'm going to fight here on that side bracket too and put that one back, then 2 10mm bolts. That is up to you. I'm not going to give my opinion on whether they need to stay or don't need to stay, but as a professional mechanic, it's my job to put it back. So as you can see, I'm going to fight doing that. It's a little bit difficult. These brackets are in a very bad spot, and they're hard to put on and hard to take off. But anyway, moving on from that. So once you've done that, you've got your intake tightened down, you've got all them brackets back on, your AC line bracket or bolted back onto its bracket. You're going to put your air cleaner box back in. Takes a little bit of finagling and wiggling to get it in there the right way. You'll have a little clip that holds it down. Then it goes to your air box and your throttle. So make sure that that seat's nice so that there's not an intake leak or a vacuum leak between there, and you don't end up having any issues with your throttle, because if it has weird readings at your throttle body, it will cause weird things to happen from your throttle. Don't forget to put your engine cover back on. Customers don't like it when you forget it. And yeah, tighten that back down and you are good to go. Good job on your repair. Start her up and hopefully you fix your misfire. Thanks you guys for hanging out today, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Aaron Auto.